Kakarot and Raditz arrive on Earth, realizing that this may be the best place to lay low for a while. When there, Kakarot encounters some old acquaintances, learning of the Red Ribbon and Black Ribbon army's deeds. In a pretty quick battle with Cell Max, they showcase their great strength and inadvertently defend Earth, and now they can actually wait here for a while. But what's going to happen afterwards? We'll be covering all that and more in this part 12 of What If Goku Was Evil. Kakarot and Raditz decide they're just going to stay here while they figure things out. They have no clue of where else to go or what to do in the time being. Obviously, their main goal is to defeat Turles, but how are they supposed to even do that? Raditz has this amazing power, but has no way to control that. So that's kind of his main focus for now. And as for Kakarot, well, he has Supreme Saiyan, and he doesn't really need to practice with that too much, but he needs to figure out some other ways to grow stronger, a way for them to defeat Turles in a surefire way. But most importantly, they just need somewhere to stay. They have no base of operations now, so this is the best they got. Hey, at least this place has real food though. And it's kinda off the grid, not entirely though. They could even live here permanently, but they don't really feel right about using Earth like that. At least Kakarot doesn't. It's gonna draw too much attention to this planet, and they don't really deserve it. Like, Kakarot's a bad guy, but he's not evil for the sake of being evil. And he does still have some connection to Earth, just like Tenshinhan noted in the last part. Deep down, it's because Kakarot actually has somewhat of a soft spot for it. While they're on Earth, let's actually go out into space for a bit. We're gonna rewind a bit too, back to when the battle ended between Turles, Kakarot, and Raditz. As Turles boards the ship and leaves, he watches on as he sees a streak of light fly across the universe, that streak of light being Kakarot and Raditz departing. Broly asks if they should chase after those two, but Turles says it's not really worth it right now. He wants to be strong enough to defeat them with his own strength. It's part of his pride. The two worked well at keeping the fruit of the tree of might away from him. He almost won there. Although, he kinda scolds Broly for blowing up that star. That was a pretty big one, and he was gonna get a lot of power from that fruit from the tree. Broly apologizes, but Turles isn't really too pissed off about it. They could find more. I mean, there's a whole universe of them. It's just they take longer than normal fruits, and that one would have been particularly strong. Look at what it did with Raditz. Turles has been pacing himself with the fruits after all. And besides the fact that it took a long time for that one to grow, it's been a while since he's had a few. But he's not just relying on that for his power. He does train in the meantime too. That's part of the reason Broly's there. One of the strongest people in his army, but also his greatest training partner. Broly has some insane latent potential. With his army constantly surveying the universe, trying to find strong planets, they ended up finding Vampa, detecting Broly's power. Of course, the planet was pretty useless, but Turles was surprised to see two Saiyans on here. Paragus and Broly definitely aren't too fond of the Saiyans, but Turles says they don't need to worry. His goal is to actually eliminate two other Saiyans right now, and he explains everything that's happened, convincing them to join his ranks. I mean, they don't really have a choice either way. At least Paragus doesn't. It's not like he could fight back against Turles. Maybe Broly would have tried to fight back, but it definitely wouldn't have been a smart option. Turles ended up utilizing Broly's power, using him as a training partner. As of now, Broly is pretty powerful, but Turles is able to tame him. Seeing Broly utilizing Wrathful during training, but not really going beyond that. Infernal Saiyan is way too much for Broly to handle, even with his immense strength. And Turles wonders, one day maybe, once Broly controls his power at least, Broly could actually have one of the fruits of the Tree of Might from the stars. And it would have a very significant effect on him. But Turles can also see, Broly's not really a terrible guy. Paragus is using him for his own gain, and so is Turles. And as far as Broly is concerned, those other two Saiyans are evil anyways. Again, he and Paragus don't really have a choice here, unless they want to do something very risky and try and defeat Turles somehow. Some time passes. Raditz and Kakarot are laying low, so Turles can't even really sense their power. At most, he'll sense Raditz powering up into Infernal Saiyan sometimes, but they're so far away now that it's not really that accurate. And it's so few and far in between that, unless they're actively looking for it, they don't really feel it. And that's just Turles. The rest of his army, they have to rely on scouters and stuff. But Turles senses something pretty interesting nearby. He sees a spaceship not too far away one day, and he senses a pretty strong power on it. Interesting. What's this? He didn't think there was any other strong people in the universe. Comparable to him at least. And all of a sudden, those powers on that spaceship, they disappear. And Turles then senses it near him. They're on his ship. Wait, what? As he's looking out, he can see that spaceship landing on a nearby moon, and Turles commands his army to land this ship as well. As he turns around, a pink, demonic-looking man is standing there. He launches a blast at Turles, flinging him right out into the vacuum of space. Turles powers up in the nick of time into Evil Saiyan, surviving out here in the vacuum. Telekinetically, he drags the man out of the ship as well, with the ship struggling to stabilize itself, landing on that moon as well. Little do they know, that other spaceship that just landed on that moon, it's Babidi's ship, and he has Boo with him. Turles will be the perfect way to draw out some power for Boo, and the best part is, Turles knows nothing about it. If they work quickly enough too, the Supreme Kai will never notice. They're worried about him intervening and stopping this somehow. But Babidi thinks since they're doing this on a whim, and can get in and out with the energy, this could be a successful endeavor. Some of Babidi's guards jump out of the ship as well, including Pui Pui and Yakon. Meanwhile, as Turles' ship lands, Broly and some other soldiers from the Crusher Corps step off, easily fending off against Babidi's small army, as Broly then tries to board the ship. Well, Babidi has to be a little bit more careful, but he can at least stall them for the time being. especially with people like Pui and Yakon, with Broly having no idea of how to fight Yakon either. And on top of that, they'll gain energy from Broly too. He looks into his crystal ball, up out in space. He could even possess somebody here, but he doesn't even really need to. Look at the power he's gaining just from Turles and Dabura fighting. Dabura thinks he's able to contend fairly well with Turles at first, until Turles stops playing around. He doesn't even transform into Infernal Saiyan, he just uses Evil Saiyan. And with the full power of this, he's able to defeat Dabura pretty quickly. Not kill Dabura though. He needs to get some info first, asking who he is and how to even get on the ship. And Dabura can already tell. Their plan is going very smoothly, and it's good that Turles doesn't kill him. So he decides to stall a bit, giving Turles a background on who he is and why they're here. Not revealing Boo though, just saying that he's here at the request of Babidi, a magician whom Turles has no hope of defeating. A magician? And he's that strong? Really? Of course Dabura's bluffing, and he continues speaking until Babidi eventually teleports him back down to the ship. With Turles then looking down at that moon nearby. Something fishy's going on here. He'll find that Dabura guy again and kill him instantly. It doesn't matter what realm he rules over or who he's working for. Turles will win here. As a way to intimidate them, he powers up, going into an Infernal Saiyan. Oh, Babidi didn't even expect this. Perfect. Turles launched down to the planet, plowing through the rest of Babidi's soldiers, including Yakon, who Broly was actually having a tough time fighting due to him absorbing the light around Broly. He's kind of bummed about this because he just figured out how to defeat the guy, but whatever. He asks Turles what's going on, and he says he really has no clue. And Broly says it's the same down here. They don't know what's going on. But Turles senses Dabura's energy. In his hand, he charges a small blast, lunging it right down at the bottom of the ship, opening up all the floors, creating a tunnel right down to the bottom. And through it, he can see Dabura and Babidi. He and Broly jump down, with them being teleported into the Demon Realm, or something like that. More of Babidi's tricks, and they have no clue of what's going on. And Dabura's ready to fight, lunging in at Broly. Maybe he can kill this guy first. But before he can even hit Broly, Broly then powers up. Going into his wrathful form, and with one attack, he punches right through Dabura's chest, killing him. Oh, okay. Babidi's watching all this, and he kind of expected Dabura to die here, but it doesn't matter. Both of them are giving so much energy off right now. And Dabura was kind of expendable. Look at Broly, giving off that energy from Wrathful. And Turles, he didn't expect him to transform to his full power right away, but it's perfect. They've already gathered so much energy from them, and Babidi only needs a little bit more. Some of the Neo Crusher Core soldiers then enter, with Turles telling them to split up and find Babidi. He already disappeared, but they don't listen to him. Instead, they're being possessed by Babidi right now. He could try to possess Broly or Turles, but it would be a little bit too tough and he's not sure if he wants to risk that. So why is he getting these soldiers to follow his orders? Turles has no clue of what's happening at first, but then one of the soldiers is able to stab Turles, taking just a fraction of energy from him, and Babidi quickly teleports that soldier away, knowing he's about to die instantly from Turles' attack. And as swiftly as possible, Babidi tries to take this energy, giving it to Boo, and he's astounded at how much there is. Whoa. Immediately, it gets Boo to 100%, giving all the energy he needs. Babidi teleported himself and the egg outside already, with Turles and Broly angrily launching up, mercilessly destroying any of the Majin soldiers along the way. And now Turles is fuming, and then he sees Babidi up there, standing next to the egg, laughing. Turles draws his hands together, quickly charging a kill driver, launching it right at Boo's egg. But just before it hits, the egg explodes, with Boo then jumping out, and Turles' attack being nullified. And Babidi thanks them, explaining what happened. He just came here to get energy from them in order to revive Boo. And Turles can sense Boo's energy. It's powerful, but not too crazy. He's shocked at first, but then he chuckles. He thanks Babidi too. Because of this, he might actually have a fun battle. But Babidi's got the wrong idea if he thinks Boo's gonna kill him. He and Broly descend downwards, now calmer than before. Turles is still, and suddenly disappears out of sight. Before anyone could even react, Babidi then explodes, with Turles quickly moving and appearing right behind Babidi, using just a fraction of his power to kill him. Alright, now that he's out of the way and there's no more of his tricks, they could fight this Majin Boo or whatever he's called. In front of Boo is Broly, and behind him is Turles. The two launch in, at full power. Boo sticks both hands out, trying to catch them, and it's tough. He struggles holding them back at first, but the two continue launching forward, pushing each side of Boo into him. The two then collide, with Boo being crushed in between. They think that'll kill him, but they could see immediately that he just regenerates from it. He's a malleable guy, and this has no effect on him. Okay, this shouldn't be too bad. They just need to destroy him completely some other way. Do so much damage that he can't regenerate from it at all. Boo gives off an evil grin, ready to fight them. Oh yeah, this part's not about Kakarot or Raditz. This is a Turles part. For this part, he's the main character. Surprise! The battle between these two Saiyans and Boo continues. And Boo's kind of pissing Turles off. He's not too tough of an opponent to fight, but it's the fact that he continues regenerating. It seems like he's not getting tired out at all. Alright, how about this? He grabs onto Boo, flinging him out in space. He tells Broly he's gonna have to sit this one out. This moon definitely doesn't have enough space for them to battle. But he says he could use Broly's help. Charge an attack. Launch one up there. Turles will keep an opening for him. And together, the two can combine their powers, defeating this monster. Turles launches out into space, meeting Boo where he threw, and Broly looks up, easily seeing Turles' light, as he battles Boo out in the vacuum of space. Broly powers up, surrounded by a fierce green aura. He tries to summon his anger, something that Turles has been trying to get him to control. He knows he might go berserk, but it doesn't matter. Turles will be able to stop him in case he does. He powers up into Wrathful first, then begins charging energy in his hands. Coalescing all of his power together, Turles fights Boo out in space, enjoying this too. For once, another opponent that he could fight out in the vacuum. He loves battling out in space, but on top of that, Boo is actually able to keep up with his power somewhat, especially with how much Boo's regenerating. And amidst the fight, Turles tries to ask questions about him, who he is, who created him, what is he? Of course, Boo has no comprehensive answer, but Turles has a way to actually do this. Seeing that Boo could be split into pieces and whatnot, Turles then reaches out, grabbing Boo, ripping off a small chunk of him, coating it in his own ki, just so it doesn't get reattached to Boo or regenerate somehow. This kinda does piss Boo off, but Turles says he'll be sure to study this, stashing it away, making sure that Boo can't get to it, and he can sense Broly's power. Broly runs around the planet trying to keep up with the battle, and suddenly, Turles grabs onto Boo, holding him tight as they fly outwards into space, with Turles then looping around, picking up speed as he launches him right towards the moon. He flings Boo downward, then launching his own attack following Boo, and as Boo is launched towards the planet, Broly launches his own attack out into space, with the two attacks colliding, hitting Boo right in the middle. Boo is completely and utterly destroyed by this combo, with Turles then landing back on the planet, thanking Broly, seeing that he's lost control just like he expected, and then knocking Broly out. And Boo's not regenerated. He's been completely destroyed. Although, there's that one piece that Turles got, the one that he separated from Boo, making sure it wouldn't get back to him. This is the last remaining chunk of Boo, but it can't regenerate. It's coated, held together by Turles' fierce ki, and it's a very small piece of him too. And Turles looks down at it. He had an idea. What if he can get his army, all the scientists there? What if they could study this, make their own Boo, try and reverse engineer him or something, maybe make one of his own? And not just that, but one that's far superior to this one. This one was kind of an idiot. Theirs, they can make one far stronger, one that possibly even takes notes from himself, or Broly. That piece of Boo levitates in front of him, coated by Turles' burning ki, prevented from regenerating. This could actually work. And even better, not only could they recreate Boo, but what if it could benefit Turles somehow? By studying this power, he could attain it for himself, use it somehow. He's not too sure, but his mind is racing, all these thoughts running through his head. The brilliant scientist and his crew could definitely figure something out. And in the meantime, he'll focus on getting Broly to control his power. He's another very valuable weapon and a great training partner. And now, we head back to Earth. Kakarot and Raditz actually do sense all this out in space. They weren't actively looking for it, but with how long it was going on, and the fact that Turles was powered up fully, they could actually sense it. Ten can feel it too. He felt that ki before, very vaguely, and as he tries to focus, he can kind of sense it, but it's so far away that they could barely feel it. Krillin asks what the hell that is, and Kakarot explains, that's Turles, the guy they told him about, that other Saiyan that they just fought. It doesn't seem like he's grown too much stronger, but who is he fighting out there? And they can sense Broly's power too, very faintly, but still sensing it. And Kakarot turns to the humans. Those are the people that they need to defeat. That's why they're seeking out more power, seeking out the Dragon Balls. Ten is still not too sure how to feel about this, but again, they don't have the Dragon Balls. Kami didn't remake them yet. But if Kakarot does end up using them, finding them somewhere else or even here, they're all kind of concerned about the result. Things die down for the time being. No giant red ribbon monsters, no ancient artificial life forms, no more stars blowing up being absorbed by trees, none of that, at least for a few weeks. As Kakarot and Raditz train together on Earth one day, they then see a large pillar of light land before them, and as it dissipates, two people are standing there. They have no clue of who they are. The one that looks like a purple cat asks, are either of them Saiyans? Oh great, another person looking to eradicate Saiyans. Kakarot steps in. Yeah, who's asking? And the man introduces himself, Lord Beerus, the god of destruction of Universe 7. What, Lord Beerus? That's the guy that Vegeta was telling them about a long time ago. Raditz heard some stories about him, and Kakarot vaguely did remember hearing about him, but doesn't know too much, since he was around Vegeta a lot less than Raditz, but Raditz definitely knows. And now the two of them are terrified. Well, what is he looking for? Why does he want Saiyans? And Beerus asks them, do they know anything about the Super Saiyan God? The Super Saiyan what? They have no clue of how to respond, or why Beerus is here, how did he even find them? But Beerus says, something disturbed him in his sleep, some fight going on. He doesn't know if they were involved, but he does know that there's a couple other Saiyans that exist out there. 3 of them that are far away, off owning some army or whatever, and then 2 of them that are here. But these guys actually seemed a little bit stronger, collectively at least. And Beerus did kind of want to check out this planet too because of the food on it. But he says if they know nothing about it, he could just simply destroy them, finding those other 3 Saiyans and seeing if they know anything. So he asks again, what do they know about the Super Saiyan God? And this is where we leave off for now. What did you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.